The Galactic Council chamber was silent, heavy with tension. Lights flickered across the long, curved table where aliens of all shapes and colors sat. The silence broke when a thin, sharp-faced alien named Valter stood up. He was from Mizarel. Species-cold, logical beings who never showed emotion, Valter slammed his three-fingered hand on the glowing table. "They're doing it again," he hissed. "Humans. They are. Mating with everything. Animals, aliens, plants. They must be stopped." Some gasped. Others growled. But one alien Eloanar from the gentle Lalari race spoke softly. "Ar. You certain, Valter? Humans have made peace across dozens of systems. Why do you call for war now?" Valter clicked his mandibles. "Because peace is not what they want. They spread like a virus. They flirt with everything. They charm everyone. And now, on planet X92, they've begun breeding with native species." A large screen appeared above the chamber. Footage played. A human laughed with a tentacled creature. Another kissed a feathered alien. A third. Was harder to describe. Gasps turned to shouts. "This is unnatural. This is dangerous. They're unpredictable." But some council members looked confused, even amused. "They're just ... bonding," one said. "They bring joy and connection," another whispered. Valter's eyes burned with frustration. "They're mixing DNA with races not even fully understood. Do you know what that means? Hybrid children, unknown abilities. Evolution out of control." He pointed toward the Earth ambassador who stood calm at the end of the table. It was a woman named Commander Liana Reeves, tall, calm, and proud. She spoke. "We never forced anyone. Your species came to us. Asked questions. Chose us. We believe in love and consent." Valter roared. "This is not love. This is invasion by seduction." The room erupted again. 6 days earlier, Planet X92 Sergeant Mark Danner looked up at the twin suns. He wiped sweat from his brow and walked into the tall red grass. His mission was simple: observe the native species and build relations. But he hadn't expected to meet Thalshi, a creature of elegance and power. Thalshi was unlike anything he had seen. Her skin shimmered like silver glass and she moved with grace. She didn't speak English, but she smiled. Mark smiled. Their friendship grew fast. She brought him fruit. He fixed her broken tools. They danced under the moons. When her hand brushed his heart pounded. Back at the outpost, his team joked about Mark and his alien girlfriend. They laughed, but Mark felt something more. Something deep. Then came the reports. Humans on other colonies were forming strong bonds, romantic bonds with alien life forms. The council sent scouts. They watched. They took notes. And finally, they brought it to vote. Back in the council chamber, Valter shouted, "This is not diplomacy. This is pollution, genetic corruption." Liana stepped forward. "We do not force anyone. If two minds and hearts choose each other, why stop them?" Another council member, a frog-like leader named Kroval, croaked. "What if the offspring become too powerful? What if your hybrids outgrow us all?" Valter grinned. "Then we lose control, and they take everything." The chamber grew still. After a long pause, Valter said the one thing that changed everything. "I propose we stop them. Not with talks, but with war." The silence turned cold. Meanwhile, Planet X92 Mark and Thalshi watched the sky. A starship passed overhead, dark, silent. Thalshi's smile faded. She pointed to the sky. "Danger," she whispered. In broken English. Mark single quotes "come" crackled. Sergeant Danner returned to base. Situation critical. War alert. Humans are now targets. His heart dropped. Targets? Why? Before he could move, the sky exploded with fire. A council warship had fired the first warning shot. War. Had begun. Asterisk. The war came suddenly. One day, humans were building peace. The next, they were being hunted. It wasn't about land or money or even power. It was about something stranger. Love. The Galactic Council had declared that human affection was too dangerous, too powerful, too contagious. They called it emotional infiltration. And now they had ordered every species allied with them to report, isolate, or eliminate human-alien pairs. Sergeant Mark Danner didn't believe it at first. But when the warship fired near the village where Thalshi lived, he knew the truth. The council wasn't bluffing. He grabbed his gear, ran toward the fire, and reached her home. Thalshi, "Are you okay?" he shouted. She stood frozen, her eyes wide, her glowing hands shaking. "Why? Why danger?" Mark held her tight. "They think we're the threat. Just because we care about each other." Thalshi pulled back slowly. "We? Love, that is danger?" Mark nodded. "To them, yes." Elsewhere, Council Special Forces Base Commander Eric's volume from the Euron species was the one in charge now. He was big, scaled, and hated humans more than Valter. To him, humans were emotional viruses wrapped in skin. And their ability to bond with aliens? An offense to nature. "We have the list," his officer said. 127 known human-alien couples across the outer colonies. "Good," Eric grunted. "Send in the enforcers. Capture them all, alive if possible, dead if needed. But sir, some aliens are resisting. Then they die too." He activated the master protocol. Operation Pure Line. Back on planet. X-92 Mark and Thalshi hid inside a cave near the cliffs. Smoke covered the horizon. The peaceful alien village had been turned to ash by a precision blast. No humans had died, but the message was clear: stop bonding. Or suffer. Thalshi touched Mark's face. "I do not want to leave you." "I won't leave either," Mark said. "But we can't stay here." They decided to escape to the human base near Sector 7. It was hidden under jungle vines and protected by auto-defense towers. But reaching it wouldn't be easy. Not anymore. Council drones flew over the skies, scanning for heat signatures. Satellite bots followed movement. Everything was watching. Mark pulled out an old cloaking belt and gave it to Thalshi. "This will hide you, but only for 10 minutes at a time. When it blinks red, stop and rest. Got it?" She nodded. They began running through trees, rivers, and giant root systems. Every sound made Mark grab his weapon. Every light in the sky could be death. Meanwhile, human high command, Moon Colony Captain Helena Graves, sat in a dark room, looking at reports. Another ship lost. Zarel forces intercepted refugees on Verta 5. Half-human hybrids taken into custody from Uxer-9. Helena stood. "Enough. We didn't start this war, but we will protect our people." Her second-in-command asked, "Even if that means protecting alien lovers?" She stared him down. "Especially them. They believed in us when no one else did. We're not just fighting for love, we're fighting for the freedom to choose." Helena opened a channel to all human colonies. "Protect every bonded pair. Form safe zones. If you see council forces, defend with force." This is no longer diplomacy. This is survival. Planet X-92, human base, Sector 7. After hours of dangerous travel, Mark and Thalshi reached the base. The gate scanned them and let them in. Inside were about 40 humans and 7 alien partners from different species. They were scared, tired, but alive. Dr. Yuki Tanaka ran over. "You made it." "We feared the worst," Mark nodded. "Council's cracking down fast. They think we're trying to create some kind of super race." Yuki laughed sadly. "They're scared of change." scared that love can break the rules of evolution. Thalshi looked at the humans and aliens around her. You fight for us? Yuki nodded. We all do. Suddenly the base alarm went off. Red lights flashed. A voice echoed. Council drop pods incoming. ETA 2 minutes. Mark's eyes narrowed. Then we fight now. He handed Thalshi a pulse pistol. She held it like a warrior. Council dropship above Sector 7 commander. Eric's volume grinned. End them all. Let the galaxy see what happens to those who betray their kind. Asterisk. The sky above Sector 7 turned black as the Council's warships dropped their pods. The jungle trees shook. Dust filled the air. Inside the human base, alarms screamed. Mark looked at Thalshi. Her silver skin shimmered under red lights. Stay close, he said. She nodded, gripping the pulse pistol with both hands. The dropships landed hard. From inside, Council soldiers poured out, armored, armed, and cold. These weren't diplomats. These were exterminators, but humans were ready. Auto turrets locked onto the enemy. Hidden mines exploded. And from the bunkers, humans and their alien partners fired back together. It wasn't just a fight for survival. It was a fight for the right to love. And the Council control ship above Commander Eric's volume watched the battle from a screen. They're resisting? He growled. Yes, sir, the officer replied. And some aliens are helping them. Eric slammed his fist on the panel. Then treat them all as traitors. Burn the base. But sir, I said burn it. Back on the ground the fight grew more intense. Mark shot down 2 Council troopers. He yelled to Yuki, who was guiding children and civilians to the underground tunnels. Get them to safety, Yuki waved. Go, we'll hold them off. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the base. A shockwave knocked Mark and Thalshi to the ground. Dust and fire filled the air. Above, the sky changed again. It wasn't Council reinforcements. It was a third party. Orbit, neutral ship, Freedom's Roar. A new vessel entered the battlefield. Painted black with golden stripes. It didn't belong to any known faction. On board were hybrids, offspring of humans and aliens from various systems. They had no home. No flag. Just one mission: protect their parents. Their leader, a young hybrid named Lyra, looked part human and part Virelian. Her voice echoed through the ship. They call us mistakes, but we're living proof that love creates strength. Let's show them. She opened fire on the Council's flagship. Back at Sector 7, the battle paused as the hybrid fighters dropped in from orbit. They moved fast, some with wings, some with glowing eyes, some with powers neither human nor alien could explain. They were stronger, faster, and completely loyal to one cause: freedom. Mark stared at them in awe. Who are they? Yuki, still helping people, gasped. I think those are the children they were afraid of. A tall hybrid landed beside Mark. His voice was calm but powerful. We're not here to hurt anyone. We're here to protect those who gave us life. He handed Mark a small device. Use this. It will shut down the Council's communication net on this planet. Mark took it. Thank you. The hybrid nodded and flew off into battle. Thalshi looked at the sky, her voice soft. They are like the future, Mark smiled. They are the reason this war started, and maybe the reason it will end. Elsewhere, Galactic Council Coravolter watched the chaos across the galaxy. More hybrids were appearing. Colonies were resisting. And some council members were questioning everything. Eloina, the soft-voiced alien who once supported peace, turned to him. You said love was the threat, but maybe ... it's our fear that is. Valter's face twisted. You fool. Look at them. Those children, what powers they have. What if they turn against us? Eloanar said nothing, but in his heart, he knew it was already too late to stop the change. Back on planet X92, Mark and Thalshi made it to the control tower of the base. Mark plugged the hybrid device into the system. It began to blink. Come link. Offline in 10.9. Council soldiers tried to reach them, but hybrids formed a protective wall. The countdown hit 0. All Council ships above the planet lost connection. Commander Eric's volume slammed his fists. What is happening? His ship drifted and silenced. Below, the battle turned. The Council forces were confused, disorganized. The resistance pushed forward. Victory was in sight. In the jungle, after the battle, the smoke cleared. Sector 7 still stood. Mark sat beside Thalshi, both exhausted. Around them, humans hugged their partners. Some cried. Some laughed. Others just stared at the sky, where no more ships appeared. Lyra, the hybrid leader, landed softly beside them. You fought well, she said. Mark looked up. Will they come back? She shook her head. They've seen what we are now. They're afraid, but some might start listening. Mark offered his hand. Thank you. She took it. We're just getting started. The fires of battle had faded, but the war was far from over. On planet X92, humans and aliens worked together to repair Sector 7. The hybrid fighters, born from love between species, stood tall beside their parents. For now they had won, but in the heart of the galaxy, trouble was growing fast. Galactic Council Core, Grand Hal Valter stormed into the council chamber. His eyes burned with anger. Screens showed images of hybrid warriors flying over human colonies. Some council members looked afraid. Others looked curious. A few looked hopeful. This is madness. Valter shouted. They have children with wings, children that control fire, children with psychic power. These are not lovers, they are invaders. Builders of a new species that will replace us all. Eloanar, the calm alien from the Lalari species, stood up slowly. And yet, they have harmed no one who didn't attack them first, Valter snapped. You think they will stay peaceful? That is not how evolution works. Another council member, tall and insect-like, buzzed. Perhaps it is you who is afraid of change. Valter's eyes narrowed. Change must be controlled. If we cannot control the humans, then we must destroy what they've created. He turned to the central computer. I call for emergency code Omega. The room froze. Eloanar gasped. That's extinction protocol, Valter nodded. Total removal, every hybrid. Every human-alien bond, erased. Planet X92 Sector 7. Underground command room. Mark sat at the table with Captain Helena Graves, hybrid leader Lyra, and Thalshi. The council won't give up, Mark said. Even after losing communication, they're too proud. Helena nodded. Worse than pride. They fear what they don't understand. Lyra stood, her voice strong. We need allies, other species, other lovers. If we unite, we can make them listen or stop them for good. Thalshi whispered, some council people are not bad. Mark looked at her. You mean Eloanar? She nodded. He spoke soft. He tried peace. Helena looked at Lyra. If we can send a message to the council chamber directly, we might reach those who still think. Maybe even turn them, Lyra smiled. Then let's do it. Meanwhile, Secret Council Office, Deep Space Eloanar walked quickly through the narrow corridor. Behind him followed two other council members, secret supporters of peace. We cannot allow Valter to launch Code Omega, Eloanar said. But we also cannot fight him openly. His allies are strong. The insect-like member whispered, What can we do? Eloanar paused. Help the humans, quietly. Give them information. Give them hope. He opened a hidden terminal and sent a secure message. Planet X92, nightfall in the jungle beyond Sector 7. Mark stood under the stars. Falshi came beside him. She touched his arm. You look worried. I am, he said. We've made a choice that scares the galaxy. What if we're wrong? She shook her head gently. Love is never wrong. Fear is. Just then, Lyra ran toward them. Come quick. We received something. Inside the base, Helena read the message aloud. Valter is preparing Omega Protocol. You have less than 3 rotations. He will erase all evidence of hybrid creation. You must act now. E. Helena's jaw tightened. We have to strike before they do. Mark looked at the others. Then let's take the fight to the Council. Asterisk, the plan was dangerous. Maybe even impossible. But Mark, Falshi, Captain Helena, and Lyra all agreed. If they waited, the Council would destroy every hybrid, every human-alien couple, and erase the dream of peace forever. They had to act now, and that meant going to the center of enemy power, the Council core. Inside the hidden war room, Sector 7, Helena pointed at a glowing star map. Here, the Council core station, deep space, surrounded by defense satellites and gravity mines. Lyra folded her arms. We can't go in as ourselves. They'd shoot us down in seconds. Mark leaned forward. Then we go in as one of them. Everyone turned to him. We still have that captured Council ship from the last battle. He explained. We paint it, spoof its ID codes, dress as diplomats. We go in, not as humans, not as hybrids, but as delegates. Helena frowned. It's risky. If we're discovered, we're dead. Falshi spoke gently. But if we don't go, everyone we love may die. Silence followed. Then Lyra nodded. Let's do it. 2 days later, Council space, the stolen ship flew quietly into restricted territory. Its outer shell now carried the glowing blue symbols of a Council diplomat cruiser. Inside, the group were fake rogues, copied from real Council officials. Only Lyra's glowing eyes and Falshi's shimmering skin were hidden under cloaks. Mark spoke softly. Remember, don't speak unless I do. Our cover is thin. The ship beeped. Approaching Council core. Scanning ... Everyone held their breath. Then a voice replied, Welcome, Delegate Vessel Onina, proceed to Docking Bay 4. Helena smiled. We're in. Inside the Council core station, the halls were massive, built with white stone, floating lights, and statues of old Council leaders. Hundreds of guards walked past them, unaware of who they really were. Falshi clutched Mark's arm. I feel ... watched. Mark nodded. Eyes are everywhere. They reached the inner chamber. Ahead stood 2 guards with electric staffs. One stepped forward. Purpose of visit? Mark held out a forged diplomatic scroll. Urgent emergency review. Hybrid negotiations. The guard scanned it. Verified. You may pass. The doors opened. They stepped into the chamber of power. Galactic Council chamber. Live session. Valter stood in the center. Voice raised. We must act now. Code Omega must be approved. Many members cheered, but others looked uncertain. Just then, Mark and the group walked in. Silence fell. Delegates from Sector 9A, the head scribe announced. Valter turned. Who dares interrupt this vote? Mark stepped forward, removing his hood. I do, he said. Mark Danner, human. Gasps echoed. Guards rushed forward, but Eloinar raised his hand. Let them speak, Valter shouted. This is madness. They should be arrested. But Eloinar replied calmly. And yet here they are, unarmed, risking their lives. That ... deserves to be heard. The Council hesitated. Then the high chairwoman nodded. You have 2 minutes. Mark's speech. Mark looked around at the many alien faces. I know many of you fear us. You fear humans. You fear the hybrids. You think love has made us dangerous. He pointed to Thalshi, then Lyra. But what we did was not war. It was connection. We didn't break treaties, we built families. He stepped closer. You fear hybrids. Why? Because they're strong? Because they're different? Every species in this chamber is different. He turned toward Valter. You call us a threat. But the only true threat is fear. Fear that someone not like you might still be worth loving. Valter screamed, Lies! You are manipulating them. Love is your weapon. Mark stared at him. No, fear is yours. Council and Chaos. Half the chamber shouted. Others sat quietly. Thinking. Then Eleanor stood. I have met humans. I have seen how they live, how they care. They are not perfect, but they are not monsters. He walked forward. I stand against Code Omega. And slowly, more council members began standing. I stand against it too. As do I. We need peace, not fear. Valter's face twisted with rage. You fools! You've doomed us all. Suddenly, he pulled a hidden control from his robe. Mark shouted, He's triggering Omega, manually stop him. But it was too late. Valter slammed his hand down. Asterisk. The red lights flashed in the council chamber. Alarm screamed. Guards pulled out weapons. Everyone looked up as a loud voice echoed from the ceiling. Omega Protocol activated. Hybrid elimination in 5 minutes. Valter stood proudly, holding the small trigger device. His voice was cold. You were too slow. The system is already running. You will watch your hybrids burn. Panic spread. Council members ran from their seats. Some tried to shut down the system. Others argued. The chamber was chaos. Mark moved fast. He tackled Valter to the ground, punching the controller from his hand. Valter growled and swung back, but Mark dodged. Where is the kill signal coming from? Mark shouted. Valter grinned, blood on his teeth. Deep beneath this station. Auto factory core, sealed, coded to my DNA. Helena, watching from the edge, called out, Then we break the seal and stop it ourselves. Council core, lower levels. Mark, Thalshi, Lyra, and Helena rushed through the dark lower tunnels. Steam poured from pipes, the walls shook. Red lights blinked everywhere. A loud countdown echoed through the halls. Elimination initiated in 4 minutes. Helena looked at Lyra. Can your hybrid powers get us past the door? Lyra placed her glowing hand on the metal wall. Sparks flew. The wall shook. I can try, she said. Behind them, council soldiers loyal to Valter gave chase. We don't have time. Mark shouted. Val single quote. She stepped forward. We make time. She raised her hands. Light shimmered from her body. A wall of energy blocked the hallway behind them. She turned to Mark. Go. I hold them. No, he said, grabbing her arm. She smiled gently. I believe in you. Now go. The core room. The door finally opened. The room was huge, glowing red. In the center stood a machine shaped like a star with thousands of wires running into servers. On the front, Omega Sequence Final PHAC. Lyra ran forward. I can connect, but I need help. Helena joined her. What do we do? Lyra closed her eyes, our minds together. Their hands touched the console. Energy flowed. Sparks exploded. Their thoughts moved faster than light. Mark stared as the lights flickered. 1 minute. The system said. Inside the network, Lyra's mind. Lyra saw fire, fear, code flying like arrows. But she also saw faces. Her mother's smile, her father's laugh, the kindness of strangers, the bravery of humans, the dreams of two people from different stars. She screamed into the system, "This isn't death. This is life." And with that, she reached the core string of Omega. She crushed it with her will. Reality. The core room, a giant pulse burst from the server. All lights shut down. The countdown froze. Then a soft voice spoke. Omega terminated. Helena fell to her knees, exhausted. Lara collapsed beside her. Mark caught them both. "You did it. You stopped it." Back in the council chamber, Eloanner stood at the center. He raised his voice above the noise. "Let it be known the Omega Protocol has been deactivated. The human delegation risked everything to save us, not harm us." He pointed at Walter, now in chains. "The true traitor is fear." The chamber was silent. Then one by one, council members stood. "I vote to remove Omega Protocol from all systems. I vote for hybrid rights. I vote for peace." And finally, the High Chairwoman stood. "Then let this be known. From this day forward, hybrids are protected. And any union between species, if done in peace and love, shall not be punished." Sector 7. 1 week later, the war was over. Ships flew freely again. Colonies reopened. Humans and aliens walked hand in hand without fear. At a celebration in Sector 7. Mark stood with Thalshi beside Lyra and Helena. He looked at the sky. "We nearly lost everything," Thalshi smiled. "But love saved it," Lyra added. "We're not mistakes, we're the beginning." Helena raised a glass. "To the last defense and the future we built together." Peace had returned. But the galaxy had changed forever. The war was not just about soldiers or ships, it was about ideas. About what it meant to love someone different. About whether connection was a weakness or the galaxy's greatest strength. Now, with Walter imprisoned and the Omega Protocol destroyed, the Council prepared for one final vote. Should interspecies unions be protected by galactic law? Or forbidden forever? This vote would decide the future. Council Core, Grand Assembly Hall. The chamber was full. Thousands of delegates from every star system sat in silence. On the large platform stood three figures. Commander Helena Graves, representing Earth. Thalshi, representing peaceful alien civilizations. Lyra, standing for hybrids born from two worlds. Mark watched from the crowd, sitting quietly. His heart pounded. This wasn't just politics, it was personal. He held Thalshi's hand tightly before she walked on stage. The High Chairwoman stood. "Let the final voices be heard before we vote." Helena stepped forward. "We didn't come here to control. We came here to connect. What began with fear ended with understanding. Let this be a new beginning." Thalshi followed her, speaking softly. "I am not human. But I have loved one, and in him I saw no enemy. Only a heart, a kind heart, one that listened, one that stayed when war came. Why should that be wrong?" The hall was still. Then Lyra stepped forward, half human, half alien, strong, proud. "Calm. I exist because two people chose love instead of hate. Many called me a mistake. But I ask you now, do I look like a mistake? Or do I look like what comes next?" She raised her hand toward the council. "Your laws tried to erase me. But I stand here because love is stronger than fear." She stepped back. Now, the vote would begin. Behind the curtain, secret council room. Eloanner walked with Mark while votes were cast. "She spoke well," the alien said. "Lyra may have changed more minds than we ever could." Mark nodded. "I hope so. Because if they vote against us, it means hiding again, running again." Eloanner stopped. "Then we keep fighting. Together." Moments later, Council Hall. The High Chairwoman returned to the center. "All votes have been cast. Final result." The screen lit up. In favor of peaceful integration 68% against 32%. A wave of emotion swept the hall. Aliens cried. Humans cheered. Some sat in shock. Helena smiled and shook Lyra's hand. You just made history. Thalshi ran to Mark and hugged him tightly. They chose love. Mark smiled. No. We chose it first. 1 month later, Planet X-92. Red grasses swayed in the wind. Sector 7 had become a galactic unity center, a place where humans, aliens and hybrids could live, study, and grow together. No walls, no fear. Mark and Thalshi stood outside a new building. A small hybrid girl played in the garden, half human, half Thalshi species. Her skin shimmered like her mother's, but her smile was pure earth. They had named her Hope. Helena walked over with Lyra. Ambassadors from 10 more species are coming. They want to learn, Lyra grinned. They used to send warships. Now they send teachers. Mark watched his daughter laugh. Funny, the thing they tried to stop became the thing that saved us all. Helena nodded. They said humans would? Bread with anything, Mark chuckled. Maybe we will. But only if we love them first. Final scene, outer space, unknown region. A new starship flew through the void. Its symbol, a half-human, half-alien crest. Inside were explorers, human, alien, hybrid. They weren't just searching for new worlds. They were searching for new hearts to understand. And this time, the galaxy was ready.